is off to a pulsating September start. 3 wins, including a dramatic win over Kamehameha. But the road to the ILH title crosses through Raider country. The defending ILH champs hoping to go 2-0. It's round 1 of 2 in the regular season between the Buff and Blue and the Raiders on OC 16. And Tuesday night is ladies' night in the ILH as we get ready for week 2 of the volleyball regular season. From Iolani Gym, it's the ILH and OC 16. 3-0 Punahou, 1-0 Iolani. Everyone looking upstairs right now at the Buff and Blue. 3 quick wins, including that win over Kamehameha Kapalama. We will see the Warriors on Thursday to take on the Raiders. The winner of the regular season will secure the first of 2 berths representing the league heading into the HHSAA Girls Volleyball State Championship Tournament. Courtside, great to have you with us. That's Jordan Helly, Jimmy Bender's coming up, and I'm Felipe Olhostra. Always something special when these two really tangle on the floor. They've been responsible for so many state championships, so many memorable moments, and we could see more of it here tonight.
Yeah, these two teams always so evenly matched, right? Last year, it was an early Punahou win, and then Iolani went on that magnificent run to the state championship. We'll see who maybe can get the upper hand early on in the first of 2 regular season meetings.
And Jimmy Bender talked to both of the coaches here tonight. And downstairs we go with the New City Nissan Court Report. Jimmy.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And here's the thoughts on how they can win tonight for Punahou's Tita Ahuna. The main thing for her, she said, I know it's cliche, but we got to serve and we got to pass. She said we need to do that in order to slow down Iolani's offense and to set up our own offense as well. Now, over on the Iolani side, Kainoa Obrey saying, main thing for him, work the ball pin to pin, use her athleticism, and he said play free. And what he means by that is he wants them swinging away. None of this roll stuff. He said take the shots. If we get it, great. If not, at least you tried. Back to you guys.
Tonight is a confidence builder potentially for Iolani with the amount of talent that they lost, the current staff that they have right now. Can they hold down home court, or Punahou remain undefeated to kick off week number 2? We shall see over the next couple hours. Big matchup in the ILH in week 2. Punahou and Iolani coming up next at OC 16. Mike's Engraving and Trophies, the official trophy provider for Spectrum OC 16 Sports. For all your special achievements, call Ryan at Mike's Engraving and Trophies. They are located in Aiea. Raider Nation in the house. They got homecoming coming up very, very soon as they take on Damien. Great atmosphere here so far. The crowd will build over this night, as you would expect between these 2 programs with Punahou and Iolani. Punahou is the road team. They're at 3-0 on the season, coming off that win against Kamehameha. Here's how they line up. It's brought to you by Zippies. Homea Marumoto along with Lulu Uluave. Kealohilani Cox along with Indigo Clark. Lee Brown, the middle blocker. Rella Binney, real good setter, by the way. And Reese Tevez is the libero. Here for the Lady Buff and Blue and head coach Tita Ahuna. Here for the Raiders and the defending state champs, they line up like this. Ambry Hanohano brings some great experience returning here. Avery Pereira, the other outside hitter. Callie Piper is really settled into her spot on the pin. The middle blockers, going to see if they can handle the big hitters from Punahou with Tiana Barrett and Aaron Hiraki. And Bailey Nakanelua, solid setter, and Maddox Taniguchi, the libero. Here for that man, Kainoa Obrey, a dozen years as a head coach of this program. During that time, and for a long number of years, Iolani was kind of the 3rd place finisher in the ILH. Then he came over, found great success. In 2016, found 3 state championships during his time. And then, of course, there's Tita Ahuna, one of the best athletes and best coaches you could find here in Hawaii. So there is essentially volleyball royalty all over this gym here tonight.
Yeah, anytime you get these 2 programs, right, anytime you get Kamehameha involved, the familiar faces, the familiar names, now on the coaching sidelines, and, you know, epic battles, right? Anytime you're going to get any of these 3 Division I schools together this season, you expect kind of epic matches. We got that on Saturday, or last week, Friday, I should say, with Punahou and Kamehameha. 15-13, of course, in the 5th set between those 2 as the Buff and Blue hanging on and kind of getting that early win, right? That's another interesting storyline to this one. 3 matches in the opening week for the Buff and Blue, just 1 for Iolani. And as you pointed out, it's been a week since they played. Is there an advantage there? A little more rest, Punahou a little more sharpened, but did go 5 just 4 days ago. We'll see maybe as this match gets into the later stages.
Let's get to our officials. up on the top. We got a very good crew, by the way. Michelle Hayes is up top and Ryan Sakagawa down on the floor. The schedule's been very flexible, at least in the preseason, so that everyone can kind of maximize their chances at good competition over the course of the season, especially in the OIA. It's a little bit more flexible with teams, some of them having in-season tournaments. Iolani competing in the Kamehameha Hawaii tournament, which is always one of the premier tournaments, along with the Ankang, to get teams ready for the year. Everyone kind of has an idea of what the other team has, but no one really knows for sure what the other team has until it's game time. And we're going to get a real good early look here with Punahou to start it off, and Rela Bini, the 5'10" senior, ready to put this one in play. Part of a 9 senior staff for Tita Ahuna's crew. Both teams very senior heavy, and really both kind of in transitional years to figure out what they have. And so last year's ILH representatives into the state tournament get ready to tangle. Round 1 of 2 here in the regular season. In the best of 5 from Iolani Gym, off we go. And picked up there from Pereira. The quick bump goes to Piper. Off the touch and got it down. Right off of Brown. And Iolani draws first blood.
Yeah, not the cleanest of first contacts for Iolani. But what did Coach Over tell Jimmy? Be aggressive, right? Swing away. And Piper does that well off the net. Tough set. Able to get the first kill.
Hano got it off of Uluave for a chase down by Tevez and a swing to Clark. Clark had that one peeled up out of the sky there by Aaron Hiraki. Piper stashes that one in front of the block, in front of Clark.
Well, 2 points, 2 opportunities, and Piper, you can see the power.
This one sailed long. I know Aubrey's saying, hey, progress tonight will look like if our girls can swing with a whole lot more confidence. He felt like there were a lot of tentative swings in the pre-seasons in the Ankang tournament and the Kamehameha Hawaii tournament. Can they find that within themselves to succeed here tonight? Here's Shigemasa. Off the set from Nakanelua, got it out to Piper, but net collision there from Piper on the follow-through. I'll score 2 here.
Well, you can see the strategy for Iolani early on, right? If there's any semblance of an opportunity, they're going to go out to 12.
Shigemasa just kind of lollipops that one across right to Piper. Nakanelua tries to dump it, but her follow-through hits the net. Iolani doesn't want to stumble and then have that turn into a bigger snowball going down the hill, and that one clear. Well, after Iolani scored the first 2, Punahou scores the next 3. Short one picked up there by Pereira. Quick attack, that one down. Barrett bangs one.
Yeah, a little better that time on the pass from Iolani. And Shigemasa serve. It's got some dip and wiggle to it. Anytime they can get the middles involved. Mentioned some new faces in there, right? Tiana Barrett as Piper moves to the outside.
Bini will set it for Uluave's first swing. In this one, everyone had a duck under that. It's zipped by the libero Maddox Taniguchi and the lineswoman. Uluave, the BYU bound commit. Near the net, Bini will sit it in the middle. That one just kind of rabbit punched over by Brown. This one off the block, picked up by Shigemasa. Bini will go to Uluave. Got it. And could she swing it or what?
Yeah, Uluave first swing right, kind of knuckled on her. This time, no mistake. And right through the block.
Yeah, that seam just open all day for Uluave. That one lays it over. Piper had to corral it, got it back on a third contact through the double block. Picked up there by Clark. Bini outside Uluave into that block. Picked up there by Bini, then Shigemasa. Uluave rips at it. Out.
That could be a nice equalizer for Iolani as well, right? Getting a lot of touches at the net. Sent back off the block. That was going to be a tough swing for Uluwave coming over the shoulder.
Piper, great basketball athlete, gets it across, dug up there by Tevez. Whew. I tell you what, Indigo Clark is going to be scary good over the course of this season. Off that right side. Whew. As the season goes on, I tell you what, Punahou had a heck of a practice yesterday too at Hemeter Fieldhouse. And then almost mismatched, but hit over there by Piper. Benny. Uluwave. Off the ribbon, found the line. Got it again.
Yeah, really good read by Benny. Brown down the middle, holding the block. And
if Punahou can get Iolani out of passing rhythm, good things will happen, but that's not going to do him any favors. It's a service error here for the ILH runners-up from a season ago.
Yeah, kind of what we expected early on, right? You get into these rivalry matches, we've seen as many errors as we have clean put-downs. These teams settle in.
Here's Taniguchi. Uluwave, then Benny. And the roll, and into the net on the block attempt there from Punahou. So it was Cox to go up and try and swat it over the net. But Punahou on her way down tried to deny it and shook the cable. That's a third net call here against Iolani.
Yeah, tough from Punahou, just off on the timing.
Off on the pass there. This one tipped right into the block by Pereira, then recycled back. Here's Pereira. Wow, what the angle there. Went down, took a swing. One contact came back over, popped right back up and put it down.
Yeah, Pereira, one of those new faces right into the lineup this year for Iolani. You can see her capabilities. Flat-footed, just go vertical from the hard angle.
Iolani coming off a straight set victory over Les Jardins. Perennial state championship contender. That one goes out. It's an 8-7 lead. Each team hitting .222 right now. Piper. A jump set goes to Punahou. Oh, she's roofed. Benny.
Yeah, Benny on that right side is a lot to deal with, right? Not just great setter, but a 5'10", all kinds of length defensively.
Pereira to Punahou, got it around. That one picked up there by Clark, hit over there by Benny, then had to be fished out. Here's Piper from the 3-meter line right to Uluwave. Benny, outside Marumoto. That one in the front row for Pereira. That one swatted back over by Nakanelua. A re-tee for Marumoto. Just got it down.
That's one of the things with this Punahou group. There is no break in rotations, right? You got Uluwave to come at you. You got Clark on the right side. You have Marumoto when it's her turn in the front row.
Jump set goes to Pereira. We've been proud of her progress over the course of the last few months, and part of why they give her and this team such a dynamic weapon through the middle. And here she is behind the line. Push it wide right. You know, creating that level of separation. They got on a pretty decent run in set 5 against Kamehameha in their last match 4 days ago. Won that one in 5. Piper. Nakanelua goes outside. Oh, wow. Punahou got rejected there, but kept the line. Piper trying to get it off the touch. Didn't go with power. Just feathered it over.
Yeah, this is just pure individual effort, right? It's basically a jump ball up there.
Ooh.
And Piper winning the race to the top.
Uluwave, Benny. There's Clark. Oh, great sprawling dig from Hiraki. Piper off balance, got it across right to Binney. They're scrambling around. It's at the net. Nearly hit by Piper, then backhanded up. Nakanelua goes to Pereira from the 3-meter line. Uluwave to Binney. Here's Marumoto tipping one around. Piper off the block. There's Uluwave. Binney. Clark into that block. Then Clark again. Went to Iolani's side for Nakanelua. Set to Piper. Went around. There's Uluwave. Then Binney. Marumoto a rip.
Definitely our best rally early on through the first 21 points. Neither team got a real clean look at it until that very end, right? Some sets off the net. Didn't get a clean distribution of the chance before, but Marumoto one-on-one out there on the right side. Hard to stop.
Shigemasa with a laser off the basket and down. And Punahou jumps out to a 4-point lead at our first timeout. 13-9. Halfway home here in set 1. Hey, don't forget, you can take all the great OC16 action with you on the go with the Spectrum News app. All the latest local sports, news, and weather that matter most to you. Download it now. It's on the App Store or Google Play. Kalijo Shigemasa, daughter of Pearl City Athletic Director Reed Shigemasa, who's also in the house, just in the section on that same side. Looking on, Kalijo puts it back in play. Here's Piper. Oh, Piper, a hot shot. Too hot for Tevez to handle.
Been a heavy dose of Piper so far. Tevez a little frustrated with herself there, but that is a lot of heat coming from Piper.
Nakanelua right to Tevez. Binney somehow set that one for Uluwave to fade away right to Piper. Nakanelua back to Piper. Oh! 5 kills now for her, hitting .308.
There's a great response for Iolani coming out of the media timeout. Gave them a chance to reset, breathe a little bit. Also get a few more students into the student section.
Yeah. Bailey Nakanelua, the sophomore, gets it back in play to Tevez. Shigemasa goes to Uluwave. That one fished in there by Pereira. Nakanelua back to Piper. She's got 3 here. Keep on feeding her. And that 4-point lead is whittled down to 1.
Yeah, it looked like on the previous swing, Tevez thought maybe she went after an out ball. That time electing to let it go. Well in by Piper.
That pulls the plug on the party, the service error.
Each time Punahou has created a little mini separation, right? 3-4-point lead. Iolani has had an immediate response. Both times, though, Iolani not quite able to even it up.
Punahou hitting .222. Iolani hitting .250 so far through the first 26 points. Piper from the right side ripped at it. Shigemasa in the back row. Binney goes to Uluwave around the double block. Diving after that one was Hiraki. Picked up by Nakanelua. Then Piper swings and hits it out. No touch. This came close with the blocker up in Uluwave. Really might have went around it.
Yeah, it looked like it from that angle. When Nakanelua navigating teammates just keep that play alive. Impressive.
Piper shovels it over to Shigemasa. Binney. Clark is roofed. Barrett and Hiraki.
Well, it was set up pretty nicely for Punahou there to go to Clark on the right side, but Barrett maybe a little undersized, 5'9", right? She, the likes of Pereira, just really athletic at the net to make up for some of that height disadvantage.
The call, serving specialist is in, gets it in play. Oh man, that's a bomb from Cox. Woo. No stopping this. 2 hands up, 1 ball down.
Didn't get much prettier than that.
16-13. Tries to answer back, and they do. It's Barrett. Punahou's largest lead was 4. A similar situation there.
A return of favor.
Gucci gets it across right to Tevez. Cox off the block and got it down. Flirted with the line. That ball stayed inbounds. And Iolani scores. How close is this? Tough to tell. Where's that red line? That's that boundary line. 15-16. One into that block. Benny flicks it over. Hit over by Shigemasa. The call was there, and now off the overpass off of Clark. Pereira. Oh, she's roof. Benny gets one.
It's a couple of times now Benny has caught one. Another great opportunity for Iolani to pull back even at 16-15, but Benny slamming the door shut. Preserves the Punahou lead.
17-15. Uluave put it back in play. A mishandle here for Iolani. It's a double contact. And Over disagrees.
Yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing they've been doing like 3-4 times.
The talk.
I'm cool when it moves.
On top of the tower. He just wants, I think, a consistency argument here for Keno Olberg. Uluave. Pereira. A fireball here from Pereira.
Yeah, when Iolani gets a clean look at things. Boy, with Pereira out there. Nice compliment to Piper.
Iraqi floated one high, and Uluave had a duck underneath that to avoid the touch. Approaching crunch time here in this first set.
Like a magic act. Made it until the last second.
You're right. Iolani Cox. The pass went to Kakal. Then here comes Hano into the net and a block of Benny. So Benny was there, and a timeout taken by Iolani. So the Buff and Blue first to the red zone here. 5 away from a 1-0 lead in the match. Punahou rolling. Late stage set 1. Out of the Iolani called timeouts. Raider Nation, part of them in the house. Everyone getting ready for homecoming, which is coming up very, very soon. We're now hoping the home team comes back after trailing by 4 a couple of times in this one. Iolani got as close as within 1. We're trying to take an early lead in the match. Floating ball there from Cox. Kanelua fished out there by Uluave. A reset from Marumoto. Wow. Off the overpass, just couldn't stuff it. Oh, Brown tried to two-hand it down and met the cable.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there. Ooh, poor Brown and Iolani. Right, they've just hung around just long enough, and if they can take advantage of some of those points that break their way, try to find a way to steal this set late.
Of a floater goes to Marumoto, who wants it back. Oh, and she got all of that down the line and good. Iolani bench thinks it's out. You be the judge at home. And even too quick.
It was close. Of course, it happens right in front of the Iolani bench, right? And they're gonna.
And now they rule it out. A point here for Iolani. Now Tito Huna will counter-argue.
So the question for Punahou, right, is hey, how did you see that to correct the error, right? If there was one. From our vantage point, I thought it was a little wide.
I thought it was wide. I thought it ended up past one of the light-colored lines. Uluave, then to Binney, flying through there. After Clark got the swing, then Hano. You look at that 1 point that can flip momentum, and Iolani feeling it right now, down 1. The same thing that happened after the TV timeout. 3 straight points.
They've done well, right, in these little mini games coming out of timeouts. Each time, there's been about 3 occasions now, they go down 3 or 4, they get back within 1. They haven't been able to get over the hump. This is a huge point right here. A little delay, a little wiping of the floor. But the Raiders, right, this, I think, it's going to be a lot of their MO this season in a lot of these big matches against fellow Division I opponents, right? They're going to scratch. They're going to find ways to eke out points.
There's one more time. In or out. That's the red line, and this one was, ooh, then that closer than most. Rolled out though. Marumoto, oh, that's in. Look out below.
3rd time's a charm, right? She had a rocket and an overpass that caused an overpass that Punahou mishandled. One that may or may not have caught the line. No questions on that one.
And every run that the Raiders have had, Punahou's been able to get one right back. Makanalua, the Piper, tipped it over. Diving after that one was Binney. But Piper scores again. 7 kills here in the first frame for a Raider squad hitting .206. What a sprawl out though. What an effort there from Binney. Well, there's a couple of blocks here in the frame. Hano puts it back in play to Uluave. Binney jumps at middle. That one hit there by Brown. Eaten alive. Oh, the miss hit from the back row. It was popped up by Hano. And then Pereira just couldn't get it over the cable.
Boy, great effort by Iolani. And then message before the match, right? Be aggressive. Pick your spots as well. Again, Punahou able to just maintain the little bit of separation.
Piper, Uluave, Binney, Clark. Yes. One more timeout in the pocket for Iolani if they want to use it, and they'll use it right here. And it comes at 23-20. It's just those little things, right? I mean, like, feel the momentum, can't get your blocks there. And when you make a small mistake against a team like Punahou right now, I mean, it typically doesn't end up well. Iolani has to find that consistency, and to credit Punahou, they've been taking advantage of every single opportunity given to them.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? I think the margin of error is a little finer on Iolani's side. And
sure.
I think we've seen that, and that's a big reason why we're at 23-20 here. Punahou, they've been able to withstand some lulls, then they stretch it back out, right? They've been able to kind of pull back and then step back on the gas. And for the Raiders, they've got to maintain that, find a way to stretch those 3-4 point runs into 5-6 point runs to kind of leapfrog Punahou here. Now, really kind of back up against it. Going to have to play some pretty perfect volleyball here over the final few points.
To the big board we go, and I mean big because we got a ton of high school sports coming your way. We head to the Hill on Thursday for Iolani and Kamehameha Kapalama. Punahou will take on Campbell, St. Louis, and Mili Lions. A heck of an interleague football. You're going to be doing a lot of flip-flopping between OC16 XCast and the Spectrum News app. Then number 3, St. John Bosco, out of California, fresh off their win over St. Francis Academy, will take on Kahuku. Remember, St. Francis last year was number 3. St. Francis now is 0-4 this season. They take on Kahuku on Saturday. We got more ILH football coming your way. The longest rivalry in terms of games in the nation. One more time. Buff and Blue, Warriors, Kamehameha trying to go undefeated by the end of this week. The battle against Lelehua. Could have an undefeated Kamehameha team taking on a one-loss Punahou team. 23-20, Iolani out of timeouts. That one just underhanded across right to Binney's hands. Here comes Uluave, a bit quiet until now. Set point.
They haven't needed Uluave to put the team on her back in this set, right? And that's a great sign for Punahou.
And Shigemasu, who's been pretty good behind the line, gets it right to Piper. Can Piper answer? Chased down there by Tevez. Flipped up by Binney. Then Uluwave free balls it across. Piper. Oh, man. Clark shuts it down. The blocking from both teams in set one, superb. It's Indigo Clark shutting it down quick, and the Buff and Blue take a 1-0 lead in the match. Well, of the 13 first set kills Iolani has, Jordan, Callie Piper's got 7 of them. She's hitting 200 already, but they're going to need others to step up. But so far, not a bad first set here from Callie Piper.
Yeah, not at all. She's putting up 7 a set. That's pretty impressive stuff. And it kind of matches up with how we saw that frame play out.
We get to the Jack in the Box set one stats. So you see the kill percentage. It's been roughly even over the course of that first set. And it's not so much the blocking, but it's more of the time of when the blocks come here in that first set that allowed Punahou to maintain that, at one point, a 4-point lead.
Yeah, Binney and Clark kind of sitting on that right side and able to come up with some really timely blocks. A couple of them that ended rallies for Iolani, one that ended the set as well. The 5 service errors, big difference in that set, additionally for Iolani.
These two teams will meet yet again 11 nights from now in the second round. Every one of these games will count towards the regular season record. Remember, whoever is the regular season champion in this division will not only get a bye into round 2, which is the ILH tournament, but they'll secure a berth into the state tournament. And a state tournament which has been really run by the last 2 decades, the ILH. And that sustained level of success. And yeah, Kamehameha has gotten their championships, obviously, but I mean, to see Punahou get in that, to see Iolani get in that, I mean, it just makes the league better as a whole.
Yeah, it really does, and what really gets them prepared for the state tournament.
Nakane Lua gets set 2 underway. There's Tevez and Binney, and there's Uluwave. In the back row was Pereira. Nakane Lua back to Pereira. Fished out there by Tevez. Here comes a swing for Clark. Got the set 1 block, spun Taniguchi dry for a Piper swing. Tevez is there, and that ball's out. Piper gets another. That's her 8th.
If Iolani can find a way to win some of those extended points, those extended rallies, hopefully wear down Punahou a little bit, try to even things up.
Off the block and out after the swing from Maramoto.
The Buff and Blue just have a wealth of pin hitters that they just throw at you in waves. That has been the big difference.
Maramoto coming from a great long line of athletes in her entire family at the prep, collegiate level. And a drop off on the serve, got it for the ace. I think rolled off the table from Shigemasu.
That service, it's something else. Iolani handled it well in the first set, but this thing just falls off a table.
That's what happens when you got parents who kind of made their name in volleyball. A lefty swing there from Hiraki, trying to get her going. Uluwave off that block, met there by Taniguchi. Hiraki, that one popped up there by Tevez, and tied at the tower. Uluwave had to bend that one around the block, and over the line went the Raiders' Hiraki. And Hiraki with a great effort, but as she was scrambling, hit the hard one, went over the center line.
Yeah, there's some really impressive plays in there. Tevez keeping it alive. Uluwave somehow pulling that one from the abyss. I gotta imagine Shigemasu was serving these, knuckle floaters at a young age.
Oh, of course.
She rips that one.
And Clark rips that one. Out of the gate 4-1.
And for the Buff and Blue, right, if they can battle some of the human tendencies of getting comfortable, getting a little predictable when it comes to their attacks. They've got such a wealth, and if they can keep that focus, boy, they are really, really impressive.
This one goes off one of the cross beams by Taniguchi, and then she gets the third contact across. Binney outside, Clark got it down just in front of Taniguchi. That's a good call here. Ryan Sakagawa hits the ground there. Timeout, Iolani. So that momentum that Punahou built in the end of set one carries over here into set number two. Through the first 6 points, 5-1 Buff and Blue. Kai Noah Wade, what a show he put on in last year's boys volleyball state final. Well, we're going to see the girls of Kamehameha Kapalama on Thursday. We'll take on Iolani. Game day Hawaii gets us going at 4:45 p.m. on Spectrum OC 16. One of the best boys volleyball finals you're going to find in the reverse sweep win for Punahou to win their 10th in a row over at BYU Hawaii. Picked up there by Binney. It's a bump set from Shigemasa. Clark.
It's an important point there for Punahou. Every timeout of that first set, Iolani kind of used it very effectively, stemmed the tide, find some points, go on little mini runs. Buff and Blue ready to respond coming out of that stoppage.
Shigemasa. Dug up in the back row by Pereira. Here's Piper. 7 kills in the first set. Gets 2 here in the second. 9 total. And Hope Kakal on the floor now.
She got off to a really hot start to begin the match in that first set. They haven't really been operating as cleanly and thus haven't been able to get her as many opportunities here.
Brown. Taniguchi a bump set here, Rocky. That lefty swing got it dug up there from Tevis. Here comes Uluave off that double block. Power coming through.
You can hear it, right? Blocks there. Just go right through it.
Some great hitters in this league, including Kalei Watson out of Kamehameha, Adriana Arquette. Off the overpass in the front row. Clark. Kind of shaded over to the left side of the floor, and that back corner was open for Clark to crush it.
Yeah, Clark, she's such a good beach player too, right? But indoors, put it up high for her and she'll go get it.
Into the net. Buff and Blue won set one, 25-20. Punahou hitting .636 so far here in the second set. No errors. Oh, wow, what a diving dig down the second contact by Binney. Ruled a clean dig. Iolani got it off the touch. He wanted a lift called. I think they're on Cox.
Yeah, third contact was a little awkward getting it back over. Maybe a little athletic justice. Iolani finding their way to that point. Still some work to do, but very early here in the second set.
Pereira ended up finding a way to get there. That's good. If you got a good serving specialist, and they had a heck of a serving specialist a couple years ago here for the Raiders. In fact, each of the last 2 years. And this is building for Taniguchi. Right back in it.
Hey, she's putting some BBs out there. Great equalizer. Right, all the great teams we've seen make runs to the ILH title, to the state championship. You got to have those role players, and obviously Taniguchi is the starting libero this year.
Moriwaki passing specialist, but she gets intercepted by Shigemasa, hanging up there, nearly blocked. Then a bump from Shigemasa goes to Uluwave. Over that double block, picked up by Nakanelua. Taniguchi goes to Pereira. Sliding dig in the back row there by Moriwaki. Uluwave off the double block. Oh, what a pickup there from Moriwaki. Middle attack. Hano!
Again, it's the longer rallies. It's the lengthier exchanges where the Raiders can find ways to scrape out some points, and big service run to pull back within one.
Shigemasa, Binny. That one nearly put down by Cox, but first it was the dig from Kakal to the back row. And look what I found. There is hope for Iolani. Hope Kakal puts one down, and looky here, all squared at 8 in set 2. Well, coming up, we got Big West Women's Soccer. CSUN gets set to take on the Rainbow Wahine of Hawaii. Thursday gets you going on Spectrum Sports at 6:30 p.m. I lost my FIFA Women's World Cup bracket this past year. Did you fill out one?
Yeah, you know what? There were some surprises.
Yeah, well, the U.S. for sure.
Losing in the round of 16. Yeah,
right.
Nobody had that one.
Team Philippines picking up a win, though. Proud of that. Outside of Uluwave.
Debutantes.
Yeah, huh? Off the bump. Here's Hiraki. Got it off the block. Binny to Uluwave. Oh, hot sauce on that one.
A little more tempo, a little quicker on that set out to Uluwave. Big time. But Punahou's defense is sorted out. They're really dangerous. They were a little out of sorts before that timeout.
The pass from Kakal went back to the middle, and Pereira pounds one down.
And all of a sudden, right, a set that looked to be a bit of a runaway for Punahou, back to even. Iolani had some renewed confidence, playing with that confidence. You got a much more dangerous team on your hands. Hiraki, so versatile, right? And throughout that first set, Iolani couldn't quite get over the hump. All of a sudden, after being down, what was it, 8-1?
Yeah.
The first to 10.
This one hit across. Diving after that one was Taniguchi. Here's a hit over there by Pereira. Floated one over the top and found the floor.
Talked about the confidence for Iolani.
Basically a 10-4 run since Iolani took their first time out. Uluwave. Oh my goodness, Hiraki. Stop it. Hit over there by Hano. Punahou scrambling around now for Uluwave to swing. Then Kakal. It's down. Could have been dangerous there for the Buff and Blue. Ends up being a point.
Again, right, a little disjointed defensively, not communicating. Luckily, Uluwave kind of just salvages that point.
Punahou sweeps over Hanalani and Sacred Hearts to start this season. Hano hits the net. Iolani hasn't been able to string amount of timely, consistent points to create enough of separation. We had 4 ties and 2 lead changes here in the second frame. Out by Pereira. Raider Nation not happy about that. This looks out to, from our position. I know we're farther away. This looked out. Oh, it was in. Just got it in. Marumoto. It's out.
Been a few of those so far.
Yeah.
Set and a half in or so.
Tough to be a lines person. But the action's so fast.
Yeah, the way these girls swing. No thanks.
Here's Pereira. Hitting .231, 6 kills to go along with 4 digs here tonight. Uluwave, 3-meter line. That one goes long. With Uluwave in the back row. Puno's got to find some more offense here up front. Can they get it with Marumoto? Not that time. So this might be one of the real rotations where Punahou needs to find offense, but they do have the hitters to do it. With Cox and Marumoto.
And it's so interesting, right, Punahou, when they were playing on the front foot, things flow, things click. Playing a little more tentatively now, you're seeing the outswing start to add up.
And what a run here for the Raiders. It's an ace.
And the service line has been a massive weapon here for Iolani.
Tito Ahuna just asked our staff, how many timeouts do I have? They said 1, so keep it in the pocket for now. But the lead for Iolani has grown to 3. Off there of Moriwaki. Here's Marumoto. Kanelua, Piper! Tito Ahuna standing up. 4-point game. Puno just needs a side out, slow the momentum down.
Yeah, going to 3 passers here on this serve receive.
Backhanded over there by Cox. Hit up there by Taniguchi. Taniguchi gets a bump set right to Piper. Not going power that time. How about the shove off the block? Timeout, Buff and Blue.
Little paintbrush. The full array of skills from Callie Piper.
It was 11 kills, hitting .308 to go along with 2 digs.
I mean, just the complete 180, right? What was it, 7-1, 8-1? It was basically 16-5
right
since then. This service line has just been a massive equalizer for Iolani. Allowed them to pull back, and now has allowed them to stretch out a lead of a handful.
And for Punahou, their football team will meet Campbell. They may score so many points, the lights might go out that day. Friday at 7:15 p.m. It's on Spectrum, OC 16.
You might want to check the bulbs,
yeah.
Make sure everyone's operational. Those are some talented squads.
Of course, Campbell coming off a homecoming win over Nanakuli. This will be the second home game for them this season, and the second one on their brand new turf field. Our first chance to look at that field on OC 16. That's on Friday. Inside the huddle of Tito Ahuna's crew. Punahou, about more than a decade to go. It was the best athletic program in the country for a couple of years. Since then, right, academics always excellent out there. Punahou achieving great success in volleyball, especially on boys and girls side. Of course, tennis and golf, those are usual automatics for them in state championships. But this year, particularly with football, got to the state final last year. Basketball looks really good this year too. Girls basketball has a brand new coach. Baseball solid. Might be another pretty good year for the Buff and Blue. They can string it all together over the next 8 months. Benny goes outside Marumoto. Taniguchi. Piper winds up and whacks it for kill number 12. The lead is 6.
Just keep feeding Callie Piper. Why not?
In the middle, Cox with the push to the back row. Ohano mishit it. Couldn't get her balance. The ball kind of trailed on her. Now Brown back in. (18-13). To the right side, there's Punahou. Got it off the block for Brown. It took a while for Iolani to get going, but the middle stages of the second set, hit the accelerator, haven't looked back.
Yeah, what we saw midway through this set,
Marumoto scores.
right, was the libero for Punahou, Tevez, come out. Moriwaki come in, defensive specialist. That maybe just to try and shore up, maybe change up the serve receive a little bit, but as they've switched into rotations, right, with Brown going, Cox going into the back row, Tevez remains on the bench. I'm not sure, may have been getting some treatment. It may have been more than just a strategic decision there from Coach Ohuna.
How about Benny doing it all? Couple of blocks, got a BB behind the line. And puts it right towards Piper. Middle, that one nearly hit down. Here's Marumoto sliding there, Taniguchi. Two Raiders go up after it and mishandled. They're called for the double. Well, Barrett and Nakanelua went up after the ball. And Iolani first to 20.
Yeah, that was a big point there. Put on a couple of cracks at it with Benny on the service line.
Big swing there from Clark. Dug up by Pereira. Good there from Piper. She's taken 28 swings tonight. 13 kills.
They haven't even played 2 sets.
Punahou at one point was hitting over 600. They're hitting 233 right now. Iolani hitting 333 in the frame. Marumoto a push shot. Taniguchi's there. The set from Nakanelua goes to Hiraki. There's Benny. Here's Uluwave on a bump. Then Marumoto a swing. Off the hands of Taniguchi. Had to be chased down there by Nakanelua. Free ball over by Piper. Uluwave to Benny. Outside Clark into the block. Kept alive though there by Brown. Tied at the net Marumoto. Then there's Hiraki. Down the middle, Pereira. There's Benny. Uluwave a bump. Here comes Clark. Off the block, there's Piper in the front row. They feed it back and hit over by Pereira. Couldn't attack because she was in front of the line. Then hit over by Clark. Sproling is there. And what an effort from Pereira. And what a rally from both teams.
It's pure hustle. All around. We catch the tail end here, but this lengthy rally. Just back and forth.
Man alive. The second long rally of the night. Iolani, as we mentioned, has a heck of a week with this game against Punahou and then Kamehameha on Thursday. Kamehameha has an exhibition match tonight, by the way, with Moanalua as a benefit for everyone on the island of Maui. Kind of fundraise for those funds. The JV match began about 65 minutes ago. The varsity match coming up in about 25 minutes up on the hill. Good sign of respect from both of those teams and those programs helping out our friends in Maui. Here comes Piper from the right side. Uluwave. Yes. They need to get her going. 8 kills now for her, with the senior hitting 227 so far. The Buff and Blue have one more run in them. Iolani's been great here in the second set.
Yeah, that they have. Now the hardest part, right? Trying to close it out, trying to finish it off. See if they can even the match.
She get Masa into the net.
Yeah, that'll help the Iolani cause. Especially with how good Shigemasa has been behind the service line in this match.
Hopka call. Picked up there by Shigemasa. Here's Uluwave. Off the block and out. Rocky can jump with some of the best of them. For her size, just couldn't turn the hands back inward. Now for Iolani Moriwaki.
Yeah, it's go time now for Punahou, right? We've got Moriwaki in the back row. Vinny in the back row as well.
Barrett.
But for Iolani, they just have not given Punahou any sort of breathing room. They have not left the door ajar.
23-18. Taniguchi. Uluwave. Good handle there from Hope Kakal. Pereira through the block. There's Uluwave. Benny flicks it out for Clark. What a transition there.
Clark's got all the shots. That was high degree of difficulty.
Raider Nation rises. They can taste a set 2 win. They're 2 points away from doing just that. Near the net, there was Pereira diving. There was Clark. Here's Uluwave into the block. Off of Cox. And there was Hiraki and Hano. But it's set point here. Shigemasa spins around. They need it, Uluwave. They get to 20 now. So they need a 4-0 run at this point. Buff and Blue for the match hitting 208. Iolani hitting 211. Uluwave's got 10 kills already. And she's got an ace. Iolani has 1 timeout left.
You got Vinny and Maramoto in the front row as well for Punahou, 2 of their better blockers. Along with Cox.
A chance to slow down the momentum by wiping up the sweat. And
you got to imagine if Punahou was able to tally another point, that timeout in the back pocket of Coach Aubry.
Piper on the bench. They got Hano along with Nakanelua. Pereira's in that back row. Uluwave just has to get it over the net to have some hope, and she does it. Raiders take set 2. They hit 312 in the frame, did the Raiders. Turning it on. Pivotal set 3 coming up. Hear from Iolani when you come back. Well, Jimmy laid it out very clearly at the beginning. He made a great point about it. Okay, someone has to step up here for Iolani. Can't just be Callie Piper. Well, how about Avery Pereira, Hawaii?
She's grown as the match has gone on, and you saw her take some really confident swings in that second set. A half dozen kills on the night.
These are the second set stats. You see the kill percentage. This is for the match. Fairly even. These long rallies, I mean, look at the attempts here. Of the 71 Iolani attempts, 29 of them have gone to Callie Piper. Of the 72 here for Punahou, 26 have gone to Uluwave, who's got 10 kills. Piper with 13 kills through 2 frames.
Those service aces in the second set for Iolani. And just the overall service pressure mounted. And then ultimately, it's kind of a wave that overtook Punahou. It's going to be really key early on as we see Kelly Jo Shigemasa change the jersey. She'll be the libero here in the third.
Arguably the best passer that Punahou has As Piper opens up the third set with a Shigemasa dig. There it is. Here comes Marumoto. That one dug up by Pereira in the back row. They feed it out to Hiraki. Into that block. Oh, Marumoto's fired up.
And right on cue, as you said, Felipe. Shigemasa, good pass. Allows the point to continue, and then the block. Was a big difference in the first set, the Punahou block. Iolani hitters neutralizing that a bit. Going to be key here in this pivotal third.
Net called Punahou. To go against Brown. So on the way down, we'll see where she hit. Number 12 on the near side. Yep. Left forearm and wrist area got the top of the cable. Uluave overpass. Barrett, yes.
Service pressure again. Right, Uluave usually so sure-handed. Comes right back over to Iolani. They can run the middle. Starting to spread out the offense a little bit. Less reliant on Piper.
Oh, Shigemasa had a tomahawk that one up just to keep it alive. And a free chance for Iolani up one. Barrett, good job from Uluave to get the dig. Near the net, that one hit over by Clark. Wow, shaded everyone to the right, found the left corner.
Talked about it earlier. Clark's got just about every shot in her bag. All that beach experience. Oh, go up high. Let me just push that.
Wicked.
For the deep corner.
So often we talk about the value of starting out quick. Remember, it was Punahou really began the second set 5-1. But Iolani just kind of stayed the course and strung together some big points. Punahou took set 1 25-20. Raiders took set 2 25-21. Here's Moriwaki. Hitter pattern along. That one hit over there by Barrett. Uluave hits that one long. Sailed out.
Yeah, Uluave. 5 hitting errors now.
Good call, puts it back in play off the overpass. It was an illegal attack going over the top. Where the ball crossed the plane. I think it was Benny right here.
Yep, Benny going up and challenging that. Again, though, the poor pass off a tough serve. Service error there, but they'll take that from Kakal, right? Basically earned them a point.
There's Shigemasa. 3 serving 4. Ooh, look out. Taniguchi almost took her head off there. Moriwaki, Benny, Uluave. Off the double block. Kept alive there by Barrett. And a roof for Marumoto. Remember, Iolani going without Callie Piper here to start the frame.
Yeah, we saw her come out.
You know, in this rotation.
Yeah, we saw a bit of that in the second set as well, right?
Yeah.
Gone with the increased passing in the back row. Give Piper a little bit of a break as well.
Oh, look out. Near the net. Hiraki. Ooh.
Hiraki's going to be big for Iolani as the season goes. Lefty on that right side. Do a little bit of everything. Right, came up big in some critical stretches late in the season last year.
Uluave. Got it. Iolani football practice has just ended. They usually end around 6 o'clock. So a lot of the football players are adding to Raider Nation. And they're running out of real estate to sit all those guys down. The best student section in the state. It's Tiger Hayashi with the sling on. And off the overpass. Outside Uluwave into that block, diving around, then finally picked up by Cox. Nakanelua, Pereira stashes one, diving Hano, kept alive by Nakanelua. Benny dumped it, sliding there Taniguchi. They're scrambling. Hano finally hits the third contact. Here's Uluwave. That one dug up and a net called on Iolani. Wow. But on the opposite side of that, there was a net call near the tower. Hiraki, that one through and picked up by Marumoto initially. Here's Uluwave. Got the back quarter. 13 kills for Uluwave.
Just took a little off. Roll for that back corner. In comfortably.
7-5 Buffalo advantage. Big third set here. A bump set to Uluwave. Right of the table, dug up there by Kakal. Finally tipped across. Uluwave gets a refeed and scores it.
He's just a little off. As that second set unfolded, outswing to begin this third, but recalibrated. Some of the scramble plays a little out of system, doesn't matter.
Hano nearly got roof, played off the net beautifully by Nakanelua. Near the net, Benny, and Cox with the left hand just floated one over. Hiraki.
Now we talked about it, Hiraki. They're going to really rely on her. Great compliment on the right side, big arm.
So you want to be an official? We're in the splash zone. It's Ryan Sakagal. Here's Uluwave in the back row for Kakal. Jump set goes to Pereira, who pounds one. Off the block to slow the momentum down, and Benny couldn't time it. Went right into the net.
Yeah, Benny, she's tried this a couple of times, right? Was dug up by Taniguchi, this time well off the net. I don't know if not sure if she knew how far off the net she was. You kind of see her reaction afterward, trying to play it on the second contact.
A floating ball right to Shigemasa. Uluwave off that block. And off Trenton Darley.
It's good reactions by our guy.
There's Uluwave right there.
Trenton's always got a good platform.
Well, he was a pitcher back in the day over at Pearl City, and
fielded his position well.
yeah, for sure. Here's Uluwave. Hiraki, that one dug up there and get over the line. Yeah, I think the right foot of Hiraki went over the 3-meter line.
Yeah, it looked like it from our angle.
Good call from the officials. 10-7.
Haven't seen that D set too much tonight.
Dropped off right to Pereira. Hiraki this time behind the line. Dug up by Uluwave. Benny in the middle. Just couldn't time it with Cox. It's that one.
Buffalo tried to go quick middle, but again, Benny a little off that net. Space and timing not quite working out.
5 aces for the match for each team so far. There's Pereira to Shigemasa. Benny to Marumoto, went around the block. There's Taniguchi. Here comes Piper. Up there by Shigemasa. Oh man, Benny bumped into Cox out there and just couldn't get the right set. Hano dug up there by Uluwave. Middle attack. Oh, Cox.
I'm not sure how Punahou won that point. He had middle and center. nearly colliding, chasing down a ball. He had a swing, 1-on-none, no blockers up, and Uluave just stared that thing down, nails. With a great pass that not only kept it alive, but allowed them to run the quick in the middle. Amazing.
Taniguchi. Piper through the block, got that one. Try to get her more active, hitting .364, 15 kills already. She's the only Raider in double figures. And more time to wipe up the sweat. More time to think here for Ambry Hanohano. Of course, no center Roberts Navarro, as we mentioned. She went to Seton Hall, and then Tessa Onaga, who was just a vacuum, who came up with arguably some of the greatest plays you're going to find in any postseason performance last year. 2 big losses, and the floating ball goes out.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for a libero to win the most outstanding player of the state tournament. And I thought she was well-deserved as the MOP last year. She was incredible.
Piper, then backhanded over there by Nakane Lua. Benny goes the opposite side for a swing from Clark. So Clark gets to double figures, she gets 10, and Punahou gets to 13 first. A chance for a breather. 13-9, the road team up in set number 3. Well, this matchup is okay, I guess. St. Louis and Iolani, that comes through at X-Gas. What a battle between the Crusaders and the Trojans. Crusaders had a pretty good road trip after nearly knocking off Liberty, then finally defeating Desert Pines. Big game in Millville. Comes through at X-Gas. Piper off the block. There's Uluave. Benny to Marumoto. Off the overpass, there's Shigemasa. Clark out.
Iolani's been really good after timeouts. It's been a huge boost for them.
At the last 2 timeouts, when Punahou had a 4-point lead, they cut it down to 1 out of the gate. This one goes off the block, so that party gets ended by Marumoto. Marumoto, half-dozen kills now. Punahou hitting .227 here in the frame, but .213 in the match. Iolani hitting .177 for the match, .080 here in this 3rd frame. Milwaukee floater. Oh, man. Barrett. Barrett's not the tallest, but man, what a cannon. Here's Hope Kakal. Shigemasa, Benny, Uluave, Kakal off the ceiling and down. And on another. That's now 16 kills for Uluave.
That was a loud one.
In the middle, diving Shigemasa. Played off the net by Uluave. What hustle from Shigemasa and Brown, but ends up wide.
Yeah, that's been another advantage for Iolani, have been the middles. Right now, 9 kills total for the Iolani middles on Barrett, 6. And for Punahou, looking at, I believe, just 3 kills out of the middle for them.
Punahou outdigging Iolani, 43-39 right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. Right, I think with the way Iolani has kept some plays alive, and and obviously with the likes of Uluave and the way she can pass, with Shigemasa taking over for Tevez back there, they keep a lot of points alive themselves.
Uluave a tip. A dump there from Punahou. Bini to Ulu Ave. Net caught on Iolani anyway. It was on Hiraki. What else can you do? Here's Ulu Ave, kill 17. Nope, not me.
Just making sure.
Yeah. 16-12. Pereira gets a refeed into that block. Came right back at her. Hiraki. Oh, if you get a lefty from the right side, good things can happen. And boy, do they have one here for Iolani.
Yeah, pretty quiet the first set. Last two sets starting to get a little more involved. And the service line as well.
Hiraki pushed one wide left. Now Ulu Ave. Three years on the varsity team, able to shoot that one across. Here comes Punahou. And Shigemasa just sees that one whiz by.
Yeah, good read, good communication there.
Each team full complement of their timeouts. 5-point advantage. And Hiraki just gets it across. It goes to Marumoto. She is feeling it now. 7 for her. Timeout, Iolani. The lead quickly swells to 6 here for the Buff and Blue. To remain undefeated and get to 4-0 by the end of tonight. Some of Buff Nation in the house, who did not participate in the wave that Iolani was trying to build up. Right now they're focused on the game because their team's on top by 6 in a match that's tied to 1 apiece. Joust at the net, kept alive there by Bini. A bump goes to Marumoto, who scores it. Kill 8. 20-13.
If Punahou can pass consistently enough, get just enough out of the middles, I mean, their pin hitters are just terrific. It's finding that balance, that connectivity for them. Because when they're on, we've seen it tonight, they can be really, really dangerous.
Denied at the net, hit over by Nakanelua. Bini, middle. There was Brown. I'll make it Cox, excuse me.
And there it is, right? Just enough. Just enough out of the middle. Keep Iolani honest.
Just snuck it around. 21-13. Pereira into the block. Pereira again, flat-footed. Ulu Ave, big chance now. In the middle for Cox, met there from Taniguchi. Nakanelua goes outside Hiraki, but a Punahou net called anyway. It was on Marumoto. And now Piper finally gets to come back. Try and juice up the offense. Here for the Raiders.
Hey, Rocky, just a Swiss Army knife out there, right? Gives them that back row option. So nice to have Nakanelua in this offense.
Marumoto, cross court, dug up there by Taniguchi. Pin to pin for Piper. With a block, kept alive there by Clark. Marumoto flying in, no touch. It goes out.
If you're Iolani, you just want to stay in the rear view. Make them hear the footsteps.
Shigemasa, Bini, Marumoto, Hiraki. Good effort there from Nakanelua running after it. 22-15. The 8-point lead that Punahou had at one point was the largest in any of the sets so far.
Nakane Lua just saw she covers some ground.
Does,
We've
right?
seen her get to balls. I thought she had no chance at. She wasn't able to keep that one up, but first year with this varsity program, filling some huge shoes, right? Mayamoto Iken over to Illinois now. Really growing into the position. She's done a nice job.
Yeah, and that was the biggest question mark, or one of the bigger question marks for Iolani. Who's going to be that steady setter, that quarterback on the floor? And they found it so far through the first match and a half with Nakane Lua. Piper winds up and scores. Can she be a game changer here? 16 kills for Piper.
She surely has impacted this contest, right? Teams are going to try and serve her. Good pass, got it right back, no problem.
Uluave, Bini, Marumoto, yes. 10 for her. So now she becomes the third buff and blue player to enter double figures in the kill department.
Yeah, just how you draw it up, right? Good pass, spinning out to Marumoto.
Piper whacking it. Uluave laying out for it. And Piper wins it. 17 now for her. Ties a match high. Now the officials making sure that the court wiping is done in a very efficient, expeditious way too. Piper, of course, we know her family, right? Billy Piper, great athlete. There's high school and college days, and been a great supporter of her. Typically camps on the end lines. Now, parked up with the parents at the top row of the bleachers. And the best part here for Iolani fans to get Piper for another year.
It's like the rite of passage, right, for a volleyball dad. Just like iPad, end line, just videoing volleyball matches.
That one hit over. Vinny outside. There is Marumoto. Oh, the changeup. One timeout left for Iolani.
11 kills now for her.
Timeout Raiders. Wow. It's been the Marumoto set. 11 kills here for the match. And a Punahou team that's hitting .343 here in the frame. Their best hitting percentage so far in any of the previous sets.
It's been clicking. Marumoto now with 11. Uluave 17. Clark with 10. That's been the storyline, right? Only one other buff and blue player has a kill, and that's Cox with 4. And so when you've got those three, you can go a long, long way. And as they get deeper into the season, deeper into these matches as well, against the quality of Iolani, teams that'll keep the ball up, that'll keep the pressure on, that'll serve you out of system. Is there enough to go along with those three? Vinny's tried to get involved offensively, try to be a little aggressive. Timing maybe a little bit off, maybe forcing the issue a little bit. But when they've got those three cooking, it's a dangerous, dangerous team.
Look at all the fashion that's in the Raider Nation stand. They got the chains on. That kid's got a tie on with a, I think it's a Pokemon on his shirt.
Very fashion forward.
The guy with the ski mask took his ski mask off. Okay, yeah. A pink wig, okay. Iolani education. 24-17.
It was a little cold to start off. Yeah, it's nice and AC in here. That or a bank heist.
For the set, the buff and blue. Piper. That was blocked and ruled in. Officials look at each other. It's a buff and blue block to end the set. Well, the emotion, the faces on both sides. Going, it's a good early season test for both of them. One team suffers their first loss by the end of tonight. Buff and Blue lead the match 2-1, and off we go to set 4 when you come back on Spectrum OC16. Well, for the Buff and Blue, who in that frame hit 343 in large part because of their senior Haumea Marimoto.
When she's in rhythm, she's got the heavy swing, she's got the full complement. She's always so steady, right? Never gets too emotionally high, never too emotionally low. And she is really, really difficult to stop when she is rolling like that.
For the set 3 stats, well, these are all match numbers, by the way, up until this point. So the 6 blocks really silencing Iolani in that third frame in particular. And that kill percentage at 252. I think over the course of this season, Iolani will have to try and develop their other offensive weapons, because when Callie Piper sits on the bench, yeah, she starts off the frame, but when she gets into the bench and players get to the back row, they get into a weird rotation where they can't find any kind of offense.
Yeah, it's going to be the key, right? Can Hiraki, can Pereira carry the team, really the tide, when Piper goes to the bench?
Even Tiana Barrett, who was explosive in that first set. With set 4 here. These teams will meet yet again September the 23rd at Hemeter Fieldhouse. Iolani will get their first crack at Kamehameha coming up on Thursday. A team Punahou has already faced, the team that they won in 5 sets. Set 4 underway. It begins with Marimoto's swing and a net call on Iolani already.
Why not go to the hot hand, right? Marimoto. Get her in there for one rotation. Might as well use her.
It's on Piper. I think shook the net on the landing. Here's Moriwaki. Lewis sets it. There she is. TB. Barrett hammers one home.
Just hanging in there. Barrett's been good for Iolani, really all night long.
Here's Kakal. Archer across. Uluave softly puts it over the top, and into Raider Nation goes Hiraki stumbling.
Yeah, kind of a little awkward twist there. Good to see her smiling coming out of it.
There's a bag on the floor, and they want to keep that area clear. That's why set 4 started off a little slow, because they had to tell a young student to make sure they didn't have the bag on the floor. See that bag. Oh yeah, it didn't look like anything there, but they just want to eliminate the potential of danger. And this one goes out. I'll score a 2 here in set 4.
Yeah, you know Iolani's not going to go quietly. Right? They up the level, they up the intensity in that second set, knowing that it's kind of make or break after dropping in the opening frame. You expect something similar here.
In the middle, it's Cox. Alohalani Cox. 5 kills.
Yeah, with Cox and Brown, right, they're really kind of growing into that position. On the out serve here.
That one goes out in a 3-3 game. Here's Hiraki. Picked up by Moriwaki. Feed it to Uluave off that block. Picked up there by Shigemasa. Reverse set goes to, holy smokes. Oh, Indigo Clark. Whipping one from about 12 feet out.
I feel like that's the appropriate reaction there. D-ball, back set, came out kind of flat, and Clark just short arms it with that kind of pace. My goodness.
Like she was throwing darts or something, Mike. In the middle, Hano answers back.
Yeah, that would have elicited one of those like double 80, you know, the British dart,
triple 20,
dart,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the darts announcers. Yeah, I don't know anything about darts besides
180.
There you go.
He'll play 501. 4-4.
Good response, though, from the Raiders.
Benny outside, Marumoto. 13 now for her. Second most on the team.
Yeah, Iolani really hasn't flinched at any point in this match. Sure, they've dropped the first and the third sets. They've shown some great resolve. The problem is when Marumoto is rolling like this and back into the front row, not skipping a beat.
Here the net, Piper off the block. Dug up in the back row there by Cox. Benny goes to Marumoto. Try to stash it. Dug up there by Pereira. Hiraki. Bump set. Piper rolled it. Front row there for Brown. Then goes to Marumoto. He's got 14 kills.
Yeah, and you can see Benny right at this point. Can't disagree with her. Set Marumoto every chance you get. Good things have happened over the last set plus. Now 10 points into set 4.
Kanelua goes to Piper. A good pickup there from Cox. And then it is Marumoto. 15 now. She's hitting 333.
When you're in the zone, you're in the zone. And how about Cox with the dig to start that sequence as well?
There she is again. Just got it over the table. Hano trying to stash it. Marumoto gets called for the double. Kind of took her by surprise after that swing from Hano. Five, serving 7. Iolani needs this one to send it to 5. Oh, Brown! What can Brown do for the Buff and Blue?
Woo. Piper went up with Benny. There was a threat there and then nothing to slow down Brown.
Piper. Straight up, straight down.
Not much to slow that down either.
And a pinballing off the bumpers. Found the seam of the block. 2-point lead. Marumoto. That one nearly picked up there by Barrett. And from the back rows, Pereira. There's Uluave. Calm and cool. Brown. This is out of play. Good effort from Piper, though, who actually had to watch the table and the bleachers just out of her reach.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Piper there. I think she had just a little more room than she initially looked at, but you can't blame her, right? That's dangerous territory over there.
Rocky goes out. Kind of sputtering a bit. Early timeout here, Iolani. Not going to wait till the 13-point plateau. Alberta now with 4-point hole that they're stuck in right now. Colonel Obrey, great baseball star. Our Suns are playing a Cal Ripken baseball too. In fact, we saw one of them during our coverage of Cal Ripken baseball. Playing the pool play over at Hawaii Kai. And now here he is. 12 years, that's hard to believe already.
I was just going to say, we're just getting older. Like his sons are of Cal Ripken age already?
Yeah, 12 and 7.
My goodness. You know, Callie Piper's a junior already.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like just yesterday she was a freshman. Bursting onto the scene.
And we'll see Piper on OC16 on Thursday as we go on the road and go up the hill. Kamehameha at 2-1 so far in the season. Sitting in the number 3 spot. Number 2 of those 3 teams, Kamehameha, Punahou, Iolani, will qualify for the state tournament. Because it's an integrated schedule, the lines could be blurred a little bit with some of those upper echelon D2 teams. Maybe the lower half of Division 1.
Yeah, I love the schedule. I think it's great. You know, it breaks up having to play everybody like 4 times before you even get into the second round, the postseason. It gets us matchups like Kamehameha University, right? Iolani against HBA. Marino going to get their chance to take on some of the Division I powers as well. And all those D2 schools, right? So good. It was an all-ILH final in Division II in the state tournament last year as well. Les Jardins over Hawaii Baptist. This is going to be a lot of really good volleyball.
Moriwaki. Piper rises up and scores. Piper 19 kills, getting 349.
Just a casual 349.
He's taken a third of all the attempts that Iolani's had here tonight. 43 attempts.
43. That's something.
Uluave, already a double-double performance. She has that one dug up by Hope Kakal. Pereira flying in off of Uluave, who slowed the momentum of that ball down, but nobody picked it up.
Another good response by Iolani. Got to have it set. Coach Obrey not keeping any cards in the pocket, right? Could have maybe tried to stretch it out to the media timeout at 13.
Uluave, yes.
He opted not to do it. Back-to-back Raider points. They're back in a little more comfortable range within 2, but when in doubt, Uluave.
It's 19 kills to go along with 15 digs.
You know, maybe there was one stretch there, third set, where she really kind of looked like she was really cooking. Other than that, it's been a really grind to get to 19.
Moriwaki, what a dig. Uluave, what a swing. Moriwaki, quick action.
She's had to come up big. Right, with Tevez unavailable after the early part of that second set. Shigemasa has to slide over to the barrel. Moriwaki going to get a little more run.
Short serve, Nakanelu outside here. Rocky slides that one down.
I'm telling you, I'm a Hiraki fan. Since we saw her last year, the element that she brings on that right side, the whippy left arm.
And now they're trying to calm down Raider Nation during that serve. They're getting real close to that tower, too.
They're a little unsure as to what they should be doing.
Yeah, and when to do it. Benny forced it into the tower.
That'll get them loud again.
Melisaki. Player of the year. Girls basketball. Moriwaki set it out there for Clark. Diving on the ground there was Hano. Jump set. Clark! Woo! Indigo Clark, double-double, 12 kills, 10 digs. Hitting .455.
She's another one, right? Just so even-keeled. Benny pulling all the right strings. I think most people, most years, thinking that's going to go back out to Uluave. Left side, let her take you home. Instead, goes to the right pin. Clark, magnificent.
The Rockies roofed. Cox was there. And Uluave. Big block, up 4 now. Nakanelu middle, Hano. Dug up there by Clark, overpass. Uluave trying to save it, and Shigemasa went over the line. On another great effort. Reed Shigemasa, her father, on the opposite side, reading his lips. Well, she was over the line out of bounds, though.
It did hit the antenna.
It did, yeah.
On the way back
There's
up.
a lot of arguments against it, right? There is the Pro C Athletic Director, longtime Pro C Athletic Director. Uluave, hello. And Marumoto back in.
The level picking up a little bit here. It's getting late. Punahou trying to close it out. Iolani trying to stay alive. It's bringing out the best in both teams.
One of the bigger lamps on the floor here for Punahou now after Marumoto checks into the front row. Uluave, then Nakanelua.
What a call.
Why not?
In part, it was out of necessity. This set is kind of taking her backwards a little bit. Figures, why not?
Sometimes you need to disrupt the rhythm and call your own number. That time worked there for the Raiders. Pereira, back up in the back row. Everybody, oh my goodness, again, it's Cox. Shigemasa with a great pass.
More balance to this Punahou attack in set 4. More Cox, more Brown.
And a 4-point advantage. Taniguchi, chased down by Pereira. Piper, back row there for Cox. Here comes Marumoto, off the block and down. Timeout left here for Iolani. Still going to be early if they take it. It's 17-12. Punahou leads in the match 2-1, trying to go to 4-0. Remain undefeated. They hand Iolani their first loss. Taniguchi. There's Piper, dug up there by Clark. Nakanelua finds the floor.
That worked once. Why not try it again? A sophomore growing up real quickly here in this match.
Marumoto, yes! Down the line. A fireball. She is turning it up. 17 kills. Hitting 361. Punahou for the match is hitting 336. And hitting 762 here in the fourth. Nakanelua. Piper. Picked up there by Brown. Shigemasa. Taniguchi. Nakanelua. Barrett. Hit there by Benny. And Marumoto goes into the net. Still plenty of time to make a move. 18-14. Punahou won set 1, 25-20. Iolani took set 2, 25-21. Punahou won 25-17, set number 3.
Good rotation here for Iolani.
Hit there by Clark. Piper out.
Yeah, you had Piper on the left there, Hiraki on the right.
He said he didn't want to see any tentative swings. He's gotten power and more confidence out of this squad. It's a very good Punahou squad.
Yeah, and I think he's got to be pretty happy with what he's gotten out of his squad. They've played confidently. They've made some mistakes, sure.
Clark. One timeout left here for Kano Obery. And he just asks to see how many he has left. He knows how many he has left, and now he takes it. Timeout Raiders, 20-14.
I think a coach has ever changed his mind after getting confirmation on any timeouts he or she has. Like, oh, you only got one, coach. Gonna hold on to it.
Right, yeah. And they're reminded how many timeouts they have by the coaching staff and the officials. I just want to double check. You said 1, right? Yeah, I did. Punahou, coming up after this one will take on University Laboratory on Thursday. Then they'll have Hawaii Baptist Academy and a couple of road matches with Les Jardins and Marino. The ones you have to circle is the Iolani matchup on September the 23rd. Remember, this is the September schedule. They do have one more meeting with Kamehameha that comes on October the 5th. That could be, and depending on how the rest of the season goes, I mean, that could determine a possible tiebreaker. It could determine a league champion by the end of that night, and who's going to the state tournament. So, still too early to tell what's going to happen here, especially when we're just starting week number 2. But you know, Punahou doesn't look like they missed a beat since last year's state tournament appearance, and an early exit from that tournament as well.
Yeah, it's a hungry group, right? It was arguably one of the biggest upsets in state tournament history on paper. I think that night, you know, Kamehameha Hawaii was the better team.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and they were the better team last year. It's just the pedigree of the programs. But this is a Punahou squad and a program. They're not used to losing before the state championship match. And so it's a hungry group, right? The senior class, some of them rejoining the program, getting back out there for the high school season.
Well, Iolani's got to go the rest of the way without a timeout. Iraqi off the block. Moriwaki got the dig. Uluwave the swing and got it off a touch. 22 now here for Uluwave, who's got 15 digs to go along with those kills. Hitting 370. Punahou has hit a ball out or into the net just once here. One hitting error.
Yeah, incredible. When they get humming offensively, it's as good as you'll see this season.
That might be the difference here in this match. Piper says, hey, we ain't done playing yet. 20 kills now for Callie Piper.
And you just know, right? This Iolani team, they're not going to go easily. It's been a hallmark of the program, particularly under Coach Obre. The problem is that was Piper's last rotation in the front row. They don't have a whole lot of points to spare.
Uluwave fading away, popped up in the air by Nakanelua. Pereira hit that one out. Gonna roll off a touch though. Upper official saw a touch. Iolani within 5. (16) serving 21. Clark gets blocked. It's Barrett. It's Pereira.
A little slower developing that time. Allowed the Iolani block to get out there.
1 point at a time here for Iolani. Clark pushed it off the hands of Taniguchi. Pereira tries to bend one down. Benny got it to Uluwave. It is off a touch. They say it went off Hiraki. It was the outside blocker, Hiraki number 5. They said it's touched. (22) serving 17. Punahou 3 away from match win number 4. Hiraki goes down to the ground. It's a pickup here for Pereira. Shigemasa, Benny. There's Clark. What a chase down there beautifully by Kakal. Pereira off the high hands and picked up there by Moriwaki. Uluwave. That's a souvenir.
Just tremendous effort by Iolani to just keep the ball alive. Kakal diving right, diving left. But right now, Punahou offensively pulled off ever so slightly from the first 20 points or so. But Uluwave back-to-back kills.
This one goes out. One swatted across. Off the set, this one hit over there by Cox. Hiraki gets a kill. They pull within 4. Punahou head-to-head against the Raiders. Remember, it was the meeting to begin the 2022 season that started off a great run for Iolani that year. 14 straight matches, but Iolani's won the last 4 here against the Buff and Blue. Can Punahou stop that streak? The lead is 4. Uluwave sets up match point. 25 kills. And now Buff Nation rises to their feet.
When she gets a clean look, there's few that come down with a harder hammer than that.
Pereira, that one blocked. Kept alive though by Nakanelua. Pereira with the left. She's denied. It's Benny. And it's the match winner. (25-19) set 4. And it took 2 hours and 2 minutes for Punahou to dispatch last year's state champs. This is only the beginning of what could be an exhilarating highlight season. Punahou remains undefeated. They go to 4-0. Punahou, match win number 4 on the season. They defeat Iolani for the first time after losing the previous 4 meetings against their ILH rivals. 25-20, 21-25, 17 and 19 the final. And so Punahou, already in round number 1 of 2 in the regular season, has wins over Kamehameha and Iolani so far. And Punahou did it with a dominant fashion in sets 3 and 4, and only just a few hitting errors in that 4th set. At one point hitting more than 700 in that 4th frame, equating to their 4th match win of the season. 3 Buff and Blue players ended up in double figures here for the Buff and Blue, including the Hawaii Honda Leaders impact player, who's with Jimmy Bender.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Lulu Uluwave, double-double for you tonight. 25 kills for you tonight. But let's talk about the conversation between sets 2 and 3, because you get 1, you're cruising in set 2, but then lose it. What was the conversation between set 2 and 3?
I think it was just sticking together and minimizing our own errors. I think that's what hurt us the most. But other than that, we just had to make a few adjustments and then just get back into it.
I know this is the first TV game of the season, but I mean, right around the corner, state championships. Where do you see this team? Where can they progress to?
I see us going to the end through all of it, yeah.
Why?
We have what it takes. We have the talent. We have the goals, and we're all on the same page, yeah.
You know, this gym is a little bit smaller than your gym, but it gets noisy in here. What was it like with that crowd tonight?
Well, we knew it was going to be loud. They always have a small student section, but they're like the loudest, I think, of all schools out here. And we did get frazzled. It's bound to happen, but like I said, you just have to get back into it. Don't let it stick like that, yeah.
Cuckoo for Lulu. That's what the sign says behind us. Lady! Back to you guys.
One of the best in the state. Going to be fun to see how the rest of the season plays out here for BYU-bound Lulu Uluwave in a 4th set where as a team they had 576. Lulu Uluwave has been the pillar of consistency over the last couple years for this program. The 400 hitting percentage through the roof, the 15 digs, and that's one of the underrated parts of her level of play. The defensive ability here for Lulu Uluwave to go along with those 25 kills here on the night. Haumea Marumoto had 17 kills. And 13 kills here for Indigo Clark. So a lot of positivity here for Punahou moving forward, especially when they have matches up against University Laboratory, Hawaii Baptist Academy. These 2 teams meet yet again 11 nights from now at Hemeter between the Raiders and the Buff and Blue. The Hawaii Honda the Year's impact player for the Raiders. Who else could you pick? Callie Piper shifting over from middle to the outside. It was a growing process, but she took 47 swings, only had 5 errors, and 20 kills. She had 319 on the night. But when they find a secondary hitter, this team is going to be very, very dangerous here for Obrey's crew on a night where they end up just a tad short. And so Iolani suffers their first loss of the season after knocking off Les Jardins. And it's a 25-19 set 4 win. Play of the game when you come back.
From Spectrum OC16, it's the Hawaiian Financial FCU post-game show.
Not a bad way to kick off week 2 of the girls' volleyball season in the ILH. Punahou wins this one in 4. Time now for the Taco Bell play of the game. Through everything that we saw here tonight, that big blast from Brown right down the middle, emphatically. Just 2 kills for her. She had 167, but both of those kills this evening spoke volumes. Incredible here as Punahou wins this one 25-20, 21-25. 17-19. There you see the final match stats. They hit 329, did the Buff and Blue, including a 576 fourth set hitting percentage. And at one point, he had 129 to start off the match. But overall, it was Punahou out-digging Iolani, which helped in their cause, and committed fewer errors here tonight. Post-game show, Felipe Ojastro, along with Jimmy Bender. Jordan Helly has a flight to catch, and so that flight's at 8 o'clock, so we relieved him of his duties. But we thank Jordan so much for making the flight over from Maui, and now he's flying back home. We'll see him at the end of the month. All right, so our first chance to look at both of these teams here in the ILH. What's your takeaway?
Well, I'll tell you, it lived up to the hype is what it was, right? We came into this thinking this was going to be a heavyweight match, and that's exactly what it was. The crowd, everything here just felt like almost playoff intensity already, right? So, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so this match took 2 hours and 2 minutes. All right, show me some Jimmy pictures now.
All right, well, we'll start off with some Punahou action, and I really loved Callie Jo Shigemasa behind the service line, especially in that first set. You saw the ace right there from her. She was just making it tough for Iolani to serve and receive, and we like seeing that. But you know what? Just when Punahou thought they had some momentum, oh, that pesky Iolani team comes in. Look at the block here from Aaron Hiraki. Very nice. She's stoked about it. And then, of course, we got to go to our impact player, Lulu Uluave. I don't even know when this was, what set it was. It doesn't matter. We saw her do this 25 times tonight. Give her the ball. She's going to put it down 99% of the time is what it felt like tonight, guys.
20 kills here for Callie Piper. She was the only player in double figures with 10 or more kills. Punahou got 3. That balance attack was dangerous, and overall tonight, it belonged to the Buffalo. They get to 4-0 on the season, and Iolani, we're going to see them on Thursday against Kamehameha Kapalama. We wrap it up in the postgame show when we come back from Iolani Gym.
Welcome back to the Hawaiian Financial FCU post-game show.
You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Buff and Blue fans still kind of lingering around, but for good reason. They won in 4 sets, 25-20, 21-25, 17-19. The final, Buff and Blue get to 4-0 on the season. Special thanks to everyone here at Iolani for their hospitality. As always, we got Iolani and Kamehameha. That's your program we know coming up on Thursday. 4:45 game day Hawaii delivered by pizza. We haven't seen Kevin Wong, I feel like, in forever. We get to see Kevin Wong.
I know. I thought he was going to be here tonight. I texted him today. Happy birthday. I'll see you tonight. And
nothing?
Well, he just liked it. He didn't respond.
Okay. Is his birthday today?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what Facebook told me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
I believe Facebook.
We're doing something for his birthday on Thursday. We'll tell you that. All right. That's your programming note. Okay, one final thought from all of us. It's a segment we call Match Points. All right, you, sir, have the floor first.
Well, I was going to do something about the wonderful air conditioning in here and how much we love that, but I'm calling an audible. Being here with you is something we never, ever do.
We never do this.
This might never, ever happen again. So if you have your cameras at home, snap a picture of this, of the two of us sitting next to each other with headsets on, because you may never see it again.
Yeah, and we've done a 3-shot with this. So we appreciate it. Yeah, and Jimmy's one of the best, so we appreciate it. My match point, as we get closer to the Iolani Classic, this place is going to be rocking. So as we get to December, I know it's really early, but make sure you go see the Iolani Classic because we're back in a full year. We'll have coverage of it, of the girls' side.
Nice.
And, Iolani, nobody puts on an event like Iolani. Everything is so precise and professional, and they have been so awesome to us, and we appreciate them for all their work, too. And so I cannot wait to get this volleyball season going, man.
And they have air conditioning here.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So there's that.
That's right. Also, me and Marge had a discussion about old 2000 pop bands. We're going to continue the discussion on Thursday. More on that in a second. We'll tie that in with Kevin Wong's birthday. That's a little tease. Let's see here.
All right.
There
we're ready for Thursday.
Happy birthday, Kevin Wong. And by the way, go to Marge again.
Yeah.
Can we go to Marge again real quick? The pigtail. There you go. Yeah. The pigtails. Pigtails today.
Very Brittany.
Yes, very Brittany.
Very Brittany. Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan Helly, safe travels back home. Thanks for joining us. He had to leave early for all of you at home. That begins our volleyball season. We'll see you on Thursday for the Raiders and the Warriors with Jordan Helly, Jimmy Bender, Marge Spears, the terrific women and men of our OC16 crew, Felipe Ohastro, Support High School Sports. So long from Iolani.